Yellow everyone, and welcome back to this week's video. So this week I'm actually gonna do a dress for Bicolin. If you guys don't know it, it's a grandeur nature. I'm still not sure how to say that in English, so if you guys know, please leave it in the comments. But yeah, I'm actually gonna do two videos for Bicolin. This one is the dress part. So what I'm actually gonna try to attempt, because like I'm good at sewing, but sometimes there's just like stuff I cannot do. I just cannot do, and I don't know why I cannot do it, because I know the logistic of it, but it's just like doesn't work. So I'm gonna try to attempt this dress. It's supposed to be an easy, if you guys know Berta, it's supposed like to be an easy one, so we never know. But the fact is, I had to like have 4 meters, and I never did anything with 4 meters of something. Like usually it's like 2.5 or something like that. 4 meters is a lot. And I bought some linen, and I forgot to like calculate the fact that it's gonna shrink in the washing machine. So I'm probably gonna have less than what I'm supposed to have. So we'll see how much it shrank and if I'm in big trouble. But yeah, let's go to the video.
So after washing the linen and drying it all in the machine to make sure it would shrink as much as it would without using hot water, I went ahead with the ironing. And doing all of that, I thought it would actually have more wrinkle than it did. I don't know if it's because I left it kind of full in the machine or it's just not 100% linen. I was pleasantly surprised when I ironed it. But when I started, I actually thought, why am I doing this? I can just skip it. Like, seriously, there's like no wrinkle. Like, do you see how much fabric I have? It's amazing. Looking at all this fabric, though, I had really big pain inside of me. I was like, I'm gonna cut it in half and like do one half and then the other. But at the same time, I was like, come on, Ruby, power through. And at the other time, I was like, you cannot cut it because then else the pattern won't be able to fit and you don't know where the pattern goes. So just do it. So 45 minutes later, I put it on the ground and put the lace on top of it. I was also really scared Tessa would just come running and mess everything up, but thank God she didn't. So I did cut my pattern off screen, but I seriously don't like Berta. But I didn't have a choice, unfortunately, which made my life a living hell from that point on. First was they didn't explain a lot, so it was all me from that point on. So one of my mistakes was just at the start. I didn't put the pattern on the right side. And after that was that I cut the 2 type of sleeve that I had in the pattern. For my defense, I have to say I thought it was how they made the poofy sleeve. But I am sometimes really dumb, so I can say for this time I was just dumb. Like I just said, everything from that point on was like me and what I know about sewing. It really was just like how I envision it in my head. So sorry if you're buying the same pattern and it doesn't look the same as I did it. It's really like all me. Keeping up with the messy part that is mostly my head. Before attempting anything, I wanted to sew every piece together to make sure that the lace and the linen would stay in place while I work with it. You see, I don't want to finish a stitch and realize that the lace or the linen was never in the stitch, if you know what I mean. And after all the pieces was sewn together, I started to work on the top. You see, in my head, how it works is a skirt is pretty straightforward, but for the top, I can only know if it really fits once I assemble it. So I don't want to discourage me on the finish line, so I decided to start with that. I also think that sleeve can be hard to put on, especially since it was my first time doing puffy sleeve. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think it was the most easy part of the whole outfit. And I'm just gonna show you a little transition of me putting the zip. I know it's not supposed to be that way for an invisible zip, but I'm gonna put it this way because that's just how I know how to put it. I also think that since I'm gonna put this dress on my own, I need to be able to find that little thingy to pull everything up. So I don't want to put it like an invisible zip would be put. Now, for the skirt, one thing I wanted to add to the pattern was an elastic. I thought it could help me in the long run. What they wanted me to do was super weird, and I didn't want to do it because I thought it would take me ages to do. So yeah, I really did thought I would make myself a favor, but as I will show you now, when I did arrive at the assemble part, I did took it off. Next thing I'm gonna do for the skirt is this part. I kind of forgot that I didn't cut this fabric in half, so I just wanted to do that, so give me 2 seconds. Voila, that's better. And now I can sew it to the skirt. I just finished and voila how it looks. At this point, I was really debating if I would make the skirt separate from the outfit, just because I love the skirt so much on its own, but it was also so high up my waist, I don't think it would have looked very flattering. One of the final touches was the frou-frou sleeve part. I didn't know how to make that, and the only way I thought about it would take me a really long time to do. More exactly, I have 45 minutes of footage just of me scrunching the fabric and maybe like a 15, 20 of like sewing it all together. And that's just for one hand. One hand. So yeah, it was really long for nothing, but also really satisfying. I really think it does give the vintage look I wanted. And with that, the only thing remaining is a ribbon on the waist to tie everything together, and voila, the beautiful dress.